everyone! For this video, I actually thought about using an art supply that I don't use very often. And it just so happens that my mother got me some new colored pencils. So what better time than to use these? I don't think either of these belong to a specific brand, but I think the designs are pretty cute. Also, these two jumbo pencils are similar to the magic ones that I use from Koinuo, and which I think is really nice is that they even have a little color chart on the back to see what colors are in which pencil. And I'm pretty excited to try them out because these are some very cute and very girly colors, and I love that. For the other ones, I think these are just very normal, standard coloring pencils. I haven't used any of these pencils yet, so I'm actually quite excited to try them out. But because I'm so excited about swatching these, I think I'm gonna start with the simple coloring pencils first. I really like the golden design on them. Kinda makes them look fancy. It is so scratchy. The color is also quite light, I feel like. Like even when I'm pushing down pretty hard, this is as dark as it's gonna get. It also just really doesn't go over the page smoothly at all, and my paper is very smooth. So that's already some points reducted. Let's swatch the other ones too. Okay, so it's not just the pink, it's all of these pencils that are incredibly hard and incredibly scratchy on the paper. They're also not very bright or opaque. So this little row over here is where I use normal pressure. These squares over here is where I use a lot of pressure and multiple layers, and as you can see, there's not too much of a difference between them. Also quite hard to get a smooth and even fill with them, because this is as good as it's gonna get. Because at some point, when you layer these pencils on each other, you're just kind of pushing the pigment around instead of filling in all the little texture holes. Also over here, where I try to blend two colors together, it's not great. Also, you can really see the little pigment dots here, and this is not like loose pigment. This is on the page. That's just how these pencils draw. I really hope they were cheap because they feel so cheap. But all the negatives aside, I love the color selection. I think all the colors work together really nicely. And I guarantee you, I have used art supplies where they did mess up the rainbow selection and it just did not harmonize well at all. Also, I'm especially really happy and surprised that they included a turquoise, because it's surprisingly rare to find turquoise in kids art supply selections. I actually wanted to compare them to one of my other colored pencils, so I grabbed one from the Stettler coloring pencils because I don't have a lot of coloring pencils, but I figured these ones are the most accessible to people, probably. At least these are the cheapest coloring pencils that I own. I don't remember how much I spent on them, but it was definitely less than €5. And over here you have one of these new coloring pencils. And this is the pink that I tried to color match from my Stettler set over here. I promise you, I use these two pencils the exact same way, and whether you prefer colors that are less saturated or if you prefer brighter colors, that's up to personal taste. But the Stettler ones were so much smoother, and these are also just normal coloring pencils. There's nothing fancy about them, but it felt so much nicer to use them on paper than it did using these. Also, I don't think this is strictly necessary, but for me personally, I think it would have been nice if this coloring pencil set came with at least one color that could work as a skin tone. If I didn't have a skin tone, then I would usually use an orange and just do it very lightly. But even when you're coloring in with a light orange, it still looks kind of like a fake tan. Okay, so anyway, I think it's time for the star of the show. Look at these cute pens, but I hope the camera focuses on the tip of these pencils, because I think they have some really pretty colors in them. It's really nice to see some that come with like pink and purple, because that is way more appealing to me. It's probably gonna take me a while to see all the colors, so I might just do one really big scribble for each of them. Oh, I did not expect the yellow to be neon. The pinkish red seems to be very dominant. Okay, I think this is as good as it's gonna get, so I'm just gonna switch to the other one for now. Okay, so first off, these two pencils, the color in them is like surprisingly soft. So they do wear down like pretty fast. Also, I find it odd to have a neon yellow in here. I don't know, mixing a neon yellow with just non-neon colors feels like a bit of an odd choice. Also, the purple just kind of disappears in here unless I'm like specifically trying to use the purple. This one, on the other hand, I think this one is a beautiful color combo. Also, these two gradients, they look so good. They look so beautiful. It kind of makes me wish that I had pencils that were just like this blue and pink and the pink and yellow. Like, these look so pretty. These pencils also kind of have the issue of leaving little pigment dots everywhere, but it actually bothers me a lot less with these, just because they're already like multiple colors mixed together. They're gonna look messy no matter what. And also, I feel like these colors mixed a lot better than these ones. Like, I tried to mix them here as well, but it's not really working. So I'm not the biggest fan of this one, but I am a really big fan of this one. Now that we swatched these new pencils, the big question is, what are we gonna draw? And I am feeling like drawing some armadillos. I've never drawn an armadillo before, but I think they're like really cute. They're kind of gross, but they're still cute. So I really want to try drawing one. And then I'm probably going to color in their body with these pencils. And then I'm gonna use these ones to color in anything else. You know, I'm like, I'm looking up pictures of armadillos, and I don't know why I'm surprised, but they don't seem to have a lot of variety when it comes to poses. Maybe I can add like a little decorative rainbow here too. Also, it should come as no surprise to anyone, but I am very, very much stylizing everything here. The anatomy of these armadillos might be a little questionable, but it's been a while since I've drawn some very fashionable animals. So I think I'm just going to deck these out in a bunch of accessories and hope that it's gonna distract from all my mistakes. Maybe its bag can be somewhat reminiscent of like a little rolled up armadillo. Might give this one some stripy gloves, and then maybe it can also have some matching socks. What else? Oh, maybe since this one has like a crossbody bag and this one could have a backpack. I think a backpack could look kind of cute with like the pose it's currently in. I think this one also needs a few more stickers. I can just like put some stickers on its shell, or kind of like those temporary tattoos that kids always get. Okay, finally I am done with sketching and outlining these cute little armadillos. One of them seems to be a little more dressed up than the other, but I think it's fine. They're friends, so there won't be any animosity. Let's see how this is gonna go. I love using multicolored magical pencils because I think they can create some really cool results, but sometimes the results might also end up looking a little off. Also, if anyone is interested, if you would like to color it in yourself, you can find it on my Ko-fi page for free. When I dressed up these armadillos, I also tried to lean in just a little bit into the Decora kind of style because I thought it would work really well with the color scheme from the rainbow pencils. And so far I think it looks pretty cute. This is not the best color result I've ever gotten from magic pencils, but I think it's still good. I really love the colors from this pencil. Like, this pencil's fine too, but I really like this one, and I love the kind of color gradient. I'm done with these pencils for now, but I might use them again for maybe the armadillo bags and perhaps maybe the flowers. And ta-da! Here are my finished rainbow armadillos. I think this turned out a lot cuter than I thought it was gonna be. And I don't know why, but I didn't expect these singular colored pencils to work so well with the multicolored pencils, but seeing them all combined in one illustration like this, the color shades are actually very similar. So this is a very nice little coincidence. Both of these sets, like I said in the beginning, were a gift from my mom, and I think the packaging on them looks super cute, and I don't know how much they cost. I really hope they were cheap because these ones, the multicolored pencils, I think they're fun, and I like that they included pink and purple, but the Koh-i-Noor ones have a much nicer texture and feel to them, and they're also just a lot smoother on the paper. However, I don't know how much these cost, but I'm just gonna assume that the Koh-i-Noor ones are quite a bit more expensive. And for the other colored pencils, the packaging is really cute. The pencils look really cute with like the little golden flowers on them, but their quality is just really, really bad. And there's definitely better alternatives for coloring pencils that are also cheap. Again, these ones from Stettler. I am a Stettler fan, but I think their coloring pencils are also just really, really nice and pretty cheap. So these ones maybe, these ones no. And that's gonna be the end of my video. Let me know what you think about my armadillos. Remember, if you want to color them in yourself, you can find this on my Ko-fi page, which is linked in the description. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider to like, comment, and subscribe. And I really hope to see you again next week. Goodbye!